thank you for appearing tonight, or this morning in your case. You said that you were awake at 3 a.m. So, really, thank you so much for coming along.
No worries. I like just getting up early. I'm an early riser, so
Well, I definitely think 3 a.m. you deserve a medal or something. The reason we were doing this is because we wanted to know a little bit more about you, your crew, your ship. So tell us a little bit about your ship.
all right. So my ship's the USS Elysium, and when I think of her, I think of three words, and they go like this: they go crazy, prolific, and excellent.
I like the fact you chose 3 words.
Yeah, they're very, very good. Prolific because they spit out posts like nobody's business. Crazy because they're just absolutely bonkers at times, and excellent because I couldn't have asked for a better crew.
Definitely, they are a very good crew.
They are amazing. When I first took over, there were only two of us remaining from the Shra era. My our chief of helm, our then chief of helm, and now we have 22 crew, and we've averaged around the 20 crew mark for the past 3 years. So the majority have been there for over a year and a half. I've had about 4 or 5 that have been there for the full 4 years that I've had the ship.
It's only been 4 years.
2017 took it over.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I forget that I didn't properly join the fleet until 2017. I've been around since 2015, but I didn't kind of get involved in any of the groups. So I always think that you've been around the same amount of time as me.
I've been with the fleet since the USS Endeavour, and that's 2006. I want to say.
It's a long time.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I thought you'd had your ship, longer than 2017.
I've had other commands in the fleet. I started off with the USS Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had Obsidian Colony.
Yeah.
And that was in 2013 at Obsidian Colony, and took a break as a command for a few years after my son was born.
Yeah.
And then when Dar said he was closing down Elysium, I was like, oh, I just got into this character and now I've got to pack her up and I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I took it over when he asked. So
yeah, because he sort of how he left was very much it was final, it was done. I can remember him. I vaguely remember the post, and it was like him basically walking off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of move the ship forward? Sort of, what was your plan after that to kind of carry on the story that had been created?
The plan was for my character to basically, she was a lieutenant commander, to return the ship back to space dock, and she wasn't to expect to gain command because, hello, a lieutenant commander in charge of the biggest ship in the fleet. Are you kidding? There's no way anybody was going to grant that. But she got given an XO who had a lot more experience, and we used that and the fact that she was extremely young to drive character interaction between her and her senior staff. My chief of security player, she hates it, but I always bring it up that her character's first interaction with mine was, "Are you sure you're the captain?" And my character going, "Yeah, I'm the captain." And it was a very embarrassing thing for her character, but it really set the tone. She's a young captain. She's female. Her race is not known for its strong females. They're meant to quiet, sit down, shut up, don't talk unless you're spoken to. Birth the children, you don't have a say. And this woman is, she's the total opposite. She's got a voice. She's running a starship. She's raising her teenage sister. She struggles with relationships between herself and her XO, between herself and her personal life. So she's got a lot of different facets, and I used that as the crutch. We're a family on Elysium, and I make sure that this character remains that and drives that. And I think it helped grow the the fleet, the ship, and the sim itself.
Very much. It sounds definitely like you've got a really good community there. Okay, I'm going to get to the nitty gritty here. We know that you do not like New Trek.
I don't like Discovery. I actually like.
You don't like Discovery?
I like Discovery.
Okay.
I like Picard a bit. I like watching it because I grew up on TNG.
Okay, so we know that you've changed from Task Force 72, you've gone to 47, and now, obviously, you're in 29. What changes have you brought in to allow that move?
Basically, I was allowed with great permission to get rid of actually the JJ verse area. So Romulus lives, which is really good, and because I'm very much prefer them to Vulcans having the ability to write stories.
So it sounds like it's not New Trek that you don't like; it's the JJ verse.
No, I like JJ verse. I do. I don't like the fact that they blew up Romulus. That's a new for me. But I do like the JJ verse. I can handle it. Discovery for me is the fact that, let's fly on a ship powered by mushrooms. But I like Picard, except for the fact they blew up Mars. And I love Lower Decks. I think Lower Decks is fun as.
Lower Decks is it's my Friday guilty pleasure. I just love the fact it comes out on a Friday afternoon and I can watch it in between the school runs, and it's just hilarious. I don't do anything else apart from watch Lower Decks for that half an hour. It's just such easy watching.
And okay, yeah, it's a bit campy at times and things like that, but oh god, it's hilarious. And I just finished watching last night's episode and I was like, I so get it, Mariner. I'm with you.
I 100%. And what I like about it, obviously not to go off on a tangent, is the fact that it brings a lot of sort of things like the animated series. It kind of makes parts of that canon. It kind of rolls back to the original series, which I still haven't watched, by the way. So that list that you gave me, 2 years ago, I'm still working through. But even I can pick out bits that I like about it.
Yeah.
And I personally think they look at our ships. I literally think they go around and they look at what people are writing and they put that into their stories.
I happen to agree. I think there's some spying going on.
I think we've got spies. Spies are the good kind.
Yeah.
What's your favourite mission that you've done with your ship so far?
I've got 2.
Okay.
One was called Face to Face, and it was about us meeting our future selves in a pocket universe.
I remember that mission because I loved the documents you did for it.
Yeah. So that was one of my favourite missions, and it gave everybody a chance to explore different crew dynamics and what happens when the captain dies. Who takes over when the captain dies, and how does that affect the rest of the crew? Especially if she doesn't die in battle, she just dies. And it was great. And how does it affect the crew meeting this alternate version of themselves? How do people face the fact that they're mortal? There's your grave, Captain. What do you think? Holy crap!
I love alternative universes. It's like my favourite trope. I love missions like that.
The what if?
Yes, exactly.
Another one was called Hell is a 4-letter word. The command crew took a shuttle to Trill with captured by Romulans and ended up in a Romulan prison. At the same time, the crew was undergoing a inspection by a Commodore and very nasty aides. And I was able to play off the nastiness of those characters against my crew, and it was great watching their interactions. And those interactions, even still to this day, affect the crew because one of those aides is now acting captain of the Elysium.
Do you know something? I'm actually looking at your site because I was going to myself, going, I know that name. I know that name.
Yeah.
Lovejoy.
Yeah.
Garrett.
Yeah.
See, I'm literally on your site now going, oh, no.
He's now captain.
Oh, no. Yes, I can see how that's going to affect people.
Well, one of the crew already did a bunk. She left. Not left the game, but her characters left the ship.
God.
She's left the ship. But yeah, the rest of the crew are struggling with, hello, this guy. He came on to our ship a few years ago and he basically tore us all a new one. And, his friend tried to get the captain's sister sent back to their home planet and all of this. So yeah, but he's coming into his own, old Garrett. He's making headway with the crew.
Haven't I seen, in regards to this character, didn't your crew make a song up about him?
Super Garrett.
Haven't I know I've seen that recently on your Discord. I'm pretty sure I have.
It's not about him, it's about his Mirrorverse character.
Ah, right, okay.
So yeah, that's Jeff, our EXO, he wrote it for his character because Garrett's his, and yeah, his alternate version, the mirror version of it is called Super Garrett.
Oh, I love it.
My crew's crazy.
I absolutely love it. Okay, so we've done favourite mission. So now I'm going to narrow it down even more. What has been your favourite joint post?
It would have been in Hell is a 4-letter word and called Ready Room Conversations. And
okay,
we had Garrett and the Commodore people, 16 NPC, gave it to them, both barrels, gave it to this guy, both barrels. And it was just the best bit of writing, watching them, have to react to the fact that you can't send a 16-year-old back to a planet where she's a political refugee from. You can't contact her next of kin because her next of kin is missing. It was great. It was really reactive.
What has been your most proudest moment on your ship or in general across the fleet?
It would be in 2018, a year into my command, when we swept the annual awards. We got Character of the Year for Lizelle, EXO of the Year for Gary, Ship of the Year, and CO of the Year for me. That was the best year. It really showed my crew had a lot of trust in us. They could stick it out, and we showed the fleet that we weren't just going to this little, okay, we've taken over, we're just going to sit back and, muck around. We were here to fight and show the fleet off in a good way. So, yeah, that was my proudest moment. And every time we get an award, or my crew gets an award, it just really shows them that they're watched. I guess that they're, wanted in the fleet and they're appreciated.
Well, award season is very soon. Nomination November. It's a month away. I am already preparing. But something that I like actually about your ship is the fact you do offer that recognition. You do awards, you do achievements. You put your heart and soul into your ship. And, yes, me and you haven't always seen eye to eye, but I've never doubted that, the fact that your crew love you, but you also do so much for them.
Yeah. I want them to have a safe place. A safe place to write, a place where they feel that they can, express themselves and have fun, basically.
Yeah, and I really do think they do. What was your first ship?
USS Endeavour. So,
can you remember what type of class that was?
I want to say it was Sovereign, but it could have been a Galaxy.
Just throw that at you, not giving you time to research that.
Yeah, good hope.
So, what about that ship that made you want to join more?
I think it was the sense of community that Obsidian Fleet has. Like, you're not just sitting there on your own and, and all that. You have a community out there that you can reach out to, that the crew can join in and talk to. So, and that was well before Discord and all of that. So it was nice to have that continuity for them and for me.
And what was your character on that ship? Do you still play that character, or have they been retired?
She's actually an NPC on Elysium. She's a counsellor.
Okay.
for the camera. Actually, funny fact, the executive officer of Endeavour is actually my executive officer now. So it was a bit of
I
a
like
fun
it.
loop around. Yeah, and Slusher was counselor.
I like how things loop around like that. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's always good.
Okay, so you have your captain, you have Lalor. Am I saying that correctly? Because I've been trying to practice it all day, going, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
What's the name?
Lalor?
Lalor.
For your Lalor. It's the accent, man. So you've obviously got Lalor, but you've also got a few other characters around the fleet. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Um, I've got my Trill doctor on the hood. She's a joint Trill. She's a bit loony. She hates emergency medical holograms, um, sort of thing. And then I've got a very airy fairy. I don't care. I'm going to dance around naked in the stars if I have to. Elf on Atlantis. It's just, she's like, I love this. Everything's brilliantly great. And everyone else is looking at her like, you're bonkers.
It's got to be the letter E because I've got a character. For anyone who doesn't know, I am actually the CO of Atlantis. And I've actually got a character on my other ship, SS Mary Rose, that's Eden, who is literally, I get confused sometimes between Elf and Eden. It's a little bit worrying sometimes when I have to do posts with them both.
just, I've not read Mary, but
They're exactly the same.
she's like, she just loves life. She's like, I'm out here exploring. This is brilliant. And everyone's like, we're thousands of light years from home and no way home. And you're acting like this. I'm like, yep, 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 yep. Um, and
Love it.
then there's my Romulan Bogazoid on Adia. She's fairly new, an engineer, not much really in the background. So yeah,
Okay. Did you say Romulan Betazoid?
yeah.
That's an odd combination.
Mhm.
How is that going? Sort of playing her out. I know you said she's very new.
She's getting there. She's still very wary of the crew. Um,
I can imagine that she is.
yeah, being Romulan. Yeah, so
It's always a bit of an awkward one.
yeah, I like Romulan. They're seen as the bad guy in so much. You get down to them, they're actually a lot like normal humans. They are very loyal to their family, very staunch in their beliefs. They don't take crap from anyone.
Very much. Do you have a
My
favourite?
favourite character out of all the ones over the years would be my character that I had on the Sarek way back when, Isabella Suter. She was an ops officer, a full betazoid, and she just said what was on. I had no filter. Find her that way. It really caused issues, but it's fun.
I can imagine that it did. Moving on from writing and what you do, we're going to go on to Star Trek. Do you have a favourite era?
I'm of the era of TNG. I like Next Gen, I like DS9 and Voyager. Quite fan of Voyager. Oh, Voyager came with man. I'm like, I like it. Like that's my era. That era, the the Next Gen Voyager era.
And I'm guessing the era that you don't have much love for is going to be disco.
Yeah, sorry. I like the Captain Pike. He is a honey. And if anyone said that he was going to be around here in Australia, I'd be there.
See, I can't wait for Strange New Worlds.
That's going to be good.
It's going to be good. I think Pike, it's just a brilliant character, and he played it so well. Even the son of the original actor was like, he's done my dad, a service. He's living up to his memory, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I think that speaks a lot to I can never remember. Is it Anson?
Yeah, Anson.
Anson. I can never remember any of the actors' names. So I think it just speaks to the character and how well of an actor he actually is, which is good. But I think we get that. When do we get that? January time, maybe?
Something like that. We could just
Roughly, because we get literally, I think we get weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of Trek starting. Well, actually, now it's already started with Lower Decks. I don't know.
there's only 2 more episodes of that to go, I think.
Yeah. So, and then I think it's Discovery. And then And then I think I don't know if it's Picard or whether it's Strange New Worlds, but it's one of them. I think we've literally got Trek, like a new series of Trek, like every week, pretty much until like Easter time, from the looks of it.
And then Prodigy too.
What are your feelings around Prodigy?
I want to see it before I make my decision. It looks like it's going to.
It's either going to be very much like Star Wars, with their cartoons, or it's literally gonna crash and burn. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground.
I'm hoping it doesn't.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to see it because you've got Janeway in it.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't, I
have to wait and see, really. So we all know that Trek has very diverse fans, but we also know that we have some fans that like to gatekeep. How do you deal with gatekeepers?
I let them yank themselves out and then tell them, too bad. I'm not going to argue with you on elite law, on, IJJ versus big primary, it shouldn't be primary, and blah, blah. Stand here and argue with you. This is what I've got in my system. This is my ship law. That's it.
I have very little time for gatekeepers. So we've got, do you consider books canon? And comics, because we have comics as well.
I do actually. Yeah, I take from all sources. So I don't mind if people say, okay, that's great. I'll look at it, and if it fits with our universe, then yeah, I'll use it. Yeah, I don't have the books, unfortunately, but
see, I do. What I kind of do. They're just 300 miles away in my parents' attic. Whilst growing up, my parents bought me tons and tons of books. They were literally, my parents have moved about 3 times, and they've just taken them, put them in the attic. One day I will retrieve them.
I have the Voyager books. It was the one with 7 and 9 and 31.
I vaguely remember. Okay, so on top of running your ship, being an excellent task force executive officer, you're a mum. How do you balance it all?
I balance it by doing my writing before he wakes up. On to bed, basically. That way I spend the time that I take with him. He's 8 and very much wants to have everyone say no to that while he's young. So, yeah, I mean, he's independent.
But, you still want to spend time with them while you're little.
Yeah, exactly.
Does your son sort of engage with it, or does he just not care about Star Trek?
I haven't shown him Trek yet. I think Prodigy may be the start of Trek for him. I started him with Star Wars, Marvel. Husband like getting into DC. He wants him to be a Batman fan.
Batman.
Spider-Man's winning. Yeah, but Spider-Man's winning at the moment.
Okay, that's okay then. I'll be less disappointed.
Yeah, no, I've got him into Star Wars. So yeah, I started off in Star Wars, so good starting point.
Fair enough. Sounds like he's got a good base for eventually like in Trek.
He has geeks for parents, so.
Oh yeah, because your husband he writes occasionally, doesn't he? When he's obviously not too busy and stuff. So
when he can.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah.
So I didn't give you any more questions, but I do have a couple of quick questions. Okay, where do you see yourself this time next year in the fleet?
Hopefully still captaining on me. And hopefully help SEP grow 29. I think there's a lot of untapped potential in Task Force.
It has so much untapped potential. It's unreal.
Hoping I can help him build it back up.
Definitely. What's been your favourite thing about the changes that have been brought in over the last, say, 4 years for the fleet?
Less of the big bad, fleet council looking over your shoulder. And that's a lot better for people. Private players and COs don't like the fact that there's that big overarching bad guy with the hammer
Ah,
The fleet's really changed years around.
the hammer was just too heavy.
Yeah, not using all
I ain't got time for that. Okay, so
I was in the fleet when it was the hammer, and I'm so much happier.
I just, yeah, I can understand where that kind of notion comes from, that, the Fleet Council are the big bad guys.
Hmm.
But they are literally here to help. We want to help. I don't want to be the bad guy. I've got some quick fire questions for you. Okay. Favorite member of JFC?
I like Jillac. Sorry, guys.
So when I was writing this down, I was going to myself, she's gonna say Chris. She's not gonna say me. She's gonna say Chris. Stargate or
Yep.
Battlestar Galactica?
Stargate.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, don't do that to me. No, I can't pick. I like both of them.
Ah, stalemate. Have a favourite sci-fi series?
Firefly.
Okay. And what other programs do you like that aren't sci-fi?
I like Law and Order,
Ooh, SUV.
NCIS, SUV, Normal Law and Order, NCIS, Criminal Minds. So those types.
I am worried about your husband now if you're watching all those crime documentaries.
He used to work for the Office of the City Medical Examiner in New York as a forensic tech. He watches them too.
Oh, so I bet you he was there going, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah, he gets told to go away a lot.
And do you have an episode of Trek that you watch for inspiration to write?
No, not really. I watch them all. I don't have a specific one that I go to.
Okay. What does give you inspiration to write?
Hard to say. I like to just sit down and just type, regardless. I just pick a character and I just start typing and see what comes out. It's free writing basically, and sometimes something that comes out will spark up a plot device, that sort of thing. So I listen to a lot of music too. That helps.
So yeah, I've got a writing Spotify. What are they called on there? Spotify, like an album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. It's late. It's late here. It's early there. Neither of us are at our best. There's me with like lemon sip and wine. There's you with coffee, I hope.
Oh no, I don't drink coffee. So
Oh, is it all tea?
yeah, I want to drink it. Yeah, normally orange juice in the morning.
So that's very healthy. No, I should learn by example. Okay, so I think that was it. That was very, very quick. I haven't really got anything else more to say. Is there anything that you would like to say about your ship, about the fleet?
I just want to thank my crew because without them, Elysium wouldn't be what it is. I can create the sandbox, but they play in it and they build on it. I may be captain, but it's their ship, so I just provide the sandbox.
The sandbox, and that's what any good CO does, or any good fleet does. Provide the sandbox, and you know, provide it for the players to play in. That's
Exactly
100%, what anyone worth their grain in salt does. So thank you very much for coming this morning.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Yes, hopefully we can get you on for a different subject, and I've been thinking of some other things that we can do, so hopefully you'll be up for that. But thank you very much, Jill. Take care.